ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, Verse 15. कामं प्रयाहि जहि विश्रवसोऽवमेहं त्रैलोक्यरावणमवाप्नुहि वीरपत्नीं भग्नीः सेतुमिह ते यशसो वितत्यै गायन्ति दिग्विजयिनो यम् उपेत्य भूपाः. My Lord, you may use my... Okay, so the ocean, the god of ocean is speaking. You may use my water as you like. Indeed, you may cross it and go to the abode of Ravana, who is the great source of disturbance and crying for the three worlds. He is the son of Vishrava, but is condemned like urine. Please go kill him and thus regain your wife Sita Devi. O great hero, although my water presents no impediment to your going to Lanka, please construct a bridge over it to spread your transcendental fame. Upon seeing this wonderfully uncommon deed of your lordship, all the great heroes and kings in the future will glorify you. Okay. Purport. It is said that a sun and urine emanate from the same source, the genitals. When a son is a devotee or a great learned person, the seminal discharge for begetting a son is successful. But if the son is unqualified and brings no glory to his family, he is no better than urine. Here Ravana is compared to urine because he was a cause of disturbance to the three worlds. Thus the ocean personified wanted him killed by Lord Ramachandra. Now, of course, which is why the whole process of producing children has to take the Vedic route, which is through Garbhadana Samskara. Otherwise, it will result in children like Ravana. Unfortunately, Kali Yuga is full of such children because nobody follows Garbhadana Samskara. So, yeah, they're all small Ravanas, not big Ravanas. The big Ravanas also, but there are a lot more small Ravanas. And we see children just indisciplined, crying, being stubborn. All this is a result of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Right? Satvaguna, children born in Satvaguna or even in the devotees, transcendental, they don't do such things. Of course, they might also do, like Krishna was also doing so many pranks when he was small. He was not a well-behaved child. Krishna was a bad child. Uh, so children also show some characteristics. Like, for example, Shashank Prabhu's daughter, Narayan. She is transcendental. You can make out just by looking at her. But then she also cries. she also she also wants to give trouble to her parents. But that's just part of their growing up process. But as they grow up, they become more matured, more. They'll show their true nature, right, of being a devotee. But those who are not born from such a process, they're just cats and dogs. Because parents also engage in the act like cats and dogs. So what is produced is also cats and dogs, right? So, and Prabhupada is very explicit, uh, very direct purport. Many people cannot digest such wordings in Bhagavatam. They say Bhagavatam is so sacred. How can we speak like this? Acharya knows how to speak. So we don't have to. There's one problem in ISKCON. Hmm. They can't, they think that, they are more advanced than Prabhupada. No, 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 it's okay. Like, for example, in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada clearly says women are unintelligent. No, I have not seen, I've seen very few, preachers who actually can take this on in public, saying that, yeah, women are less intelligent. Why we are not saying it? Why are we hesitating? Prabhupada is saying, we are repeating what Prabhupada has said. If we can't understand, that's our problem, right? But Prabhupada doesn't make any statement which is false. So for which we need to have faith in Prabhupada, faith in Prabhupada's purpose. And those who actually surrender, they understand. I know, like, ladies saying, yeah, you're less intelligent. They understand their real position. It's only out of false ego that women don't want to accept this statement. But that's a fact. Whatever Prabhupada writes is a fact. We can't argue against it, saying that, no, no, this is not relevant for this time and age. Nothing like that. We should always remember saying that Prabhupada spoke in the West mostly, right? And West is many more years further ahead, degraded. So which means that India is still getting to that state. And in the midst of such a degraded society, Prabhupada spoke and wrote these things. So you should understand that it's absolutely relevant for us. One feature of the Supreme Person of God, Lord Ramachandra, is omnipotence. The Lord can act without regard to material impediments or inconveniences, but to prove that He is the Supreme Lord and was not merely advertised as Godhead or elected by popular vote, He constructed a wonderful bridge over the ocean. Nowadays, it has become fashionable to create some artificial God who performs no uncommon activities. A little magic. Yeah. A little magic will bewilder a foolish person into selecting an artificial God because he does not understand how powerful God is. Now, while we might read this statement and say, yes, 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 you know, these people who get bewildered by some little magic, they don't have intelligence. But what about faith of devotees? Do we actually also believe that in the power of Krishna? No, not fully. Right? We put our own restrictions on Krishna's power. Not that Krishna will get restricted, but our faith gets restricted. So Krishna is super powerful. He can do anything. And those who are surrendered to Krishna, uh, who don't have anybody else, they experience the power of Krishna because of their faith in Krishna. Krishna simply reciprocates. It's not like we can't say that Krishna is partial. Of course, Krishna can also be partial, but in general, he will just simply reciprocate, right? So the more a devotee surrendered, the more reciprocation you will see from the Supreme Lord. Now, when we talk about wonderful bridge, we don't remember the wonderful bridge of Rama. We remember the wonderful bridge of Krishna. Hmm? So this is not described in Bhagavatam. But once Krishna and gopis were some usual, some fight, all the time fight. Something or that keeps going on. And then whenever there's some fight, then gopis have to pull down Krishna, saying that you are nothing. You're good for nothing person. So then Krishna says, why? Why good for nothing? I built that bridge in Lanka to go to Ravana, on the ocean to go to Ravana. Okay, you, you built. You can only keep speaking about all these things. You can just, dream about all these things. And then gopis are very, when they get nasty, they're very nasty. Huh? Of course, Krishna loves it. So Shastra says that Krishna loves that bantering, that whatever. The scolding of the gopis more than Vedic hymns. Because it's done out of utter love, pure love. So then Krishna says, no, no, okay, so there is. So he says, okay, now I'm going to build a bridge. Then he says, okay, all the gopis, okay, you all help me. You all help me build the bridge. Gopis say, why we should help you? How did Rama build the bridge? How did Rama build the bridge? Monkeys. He said, you also have so many monkey friends. You call all of them. You build your own bridge. We are not going to help you. Okay. Krishna says, okay, you will come to know, you'll come to know about my power. So then he calls all his monkey friends. And then uh, and he tells monkeys, don't worry, I'm writing my name on it. So he writes Krishna and say, okay, now you throw it into the ocean, into the whatever. It's not an ocean, it was just some lake, pond, whatever. So then they throw all these stones one after the other, and then bridge is built. And then Krishna boastfully walks across, saying that, see, I did this. And then, of course, then, some fun. So, yeah, for us, we remember the fun aspect of Krishna's pastimes. Yeah, so Krishna also wanted to prove that he was Rama. And so he said, see, I built the bridge. Anyway. Hmm. Lord Ramachandra, however, constructed a bridge over the water with stone by making the stone float. So we saw this when we went to where? Rameshwaram. We saw this. We saw some stones which have been stored, floating stones. This is proof of God's uncommonly wonderful power. Why should someone be accepted as God without displaying extraordinary potency by doing something never to be done by any common man? Now, what about all the magic that people display, right? And why do people get so bewildered? Okay, so what do you want, Shashank Prabhu? I don't ask something material. What all Shashank Prabhu wants Krishna Prem. That magic givers cannot give you. I can give you something, you tell some nice sweet. Hmm. So, what is the use of this? Devotees will laugh at it. Uh, but people are, Prabhupada says, poor fond of knowledge. Poor fond of knowledge means brainless in simple words, right? Poor fond of knowledge means that they just don't have intelligence. Now, these people who don't have intelligence, they see some magic and they also know that, okay, I had visited some Jadoo show and there also, Jadugar also did something like this. So they can't think, saying that, okay, this also looks like some Jadoo. Uh, um, anyway, that is the only so much intelligence people have. So they accept all kinds of people as God. We accept Lord Ramachandra as Supreme Lord because he constructed this bridge. And we accept Lord Krishna as the Supreme Lord because he lifted Govardhana when he was only 7 years old. We should not accept any rascal as God or an incarnation of God, for God displays special features in his various activities. Therefore, Lord himself says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yogetti tattvataha tyakva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. The activities of the Lord are not common. They are all transcendently wonderful and not able to be performed by any other living being. Symptoms of the Lord's activities are all mentioned in the Shastras, and after one understands them, one can accept the Lord as he is. But problem is, people don't want to accept Shastra also. People will accept some big scientist, some big philosopher, but they don't want to accept what Krishna himself is saying in the Shastra. Hmm? Like somebody was asking, saying that, why you worship only Krishna? Hmm? Even Shankaracharya said, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Even he's saying, uh, he says Nirakar and all that, but then in his Gita Bhashya, what is that? Gita Mahatmya, so he says Eko Deva Devaki Putra Eva. Let there be only one God, Devaki Putra, Krishna. But then followers of a certain Vaishnava Sampradaya, which means that they should be worshipping Krishna or Vishnu, they are saying that why are you worshipping only Krishna or Vishnu? Because Krishna says so. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, so we follow. Oh, no, no, you're all fanatical. Okay, then you tell Krishna. Why is Krishna fanatical? Why is Krishna saying that? Krishna also should have said, oh, worship all demigods, all gods. Uh, Krishna rejected demigod worship, saying, Avidhi Purvakam. Kama isteste ritagnana pravadyante anya devata. Other gods who will worship Kama isteste ritagnana. Their intelligence has been stolen by Kama, by lust. material sense gratification. So they go to Anya Devata because they come to Krishna or Vishnu, they might not get what they want, right? So even though it's so easy to accept Krishna, it's so difficult, right? So easy. What is the difficulty? He is a supreme lord. He does uncommon activities. He's loving. He's caring. He's Bhakta Vatsala. What qualities do you want? I mean, any quality that you want is there in Krishna. But then still people don't want to come to Krishna. Unfortunate. So devotees have to go and try. Keep trying. Keep crying, keep begging, saying, please, 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 please. Please take Krishna's name. We have to do transcendental cheating, right? Uh, all kinds of stuff we have to do. What to do? People think they're intelligent, so we have to fool them so that they can accept Krishna. Otherwise, they won't accept Krishna. Spoil their life, spoil multiple lives. Meaning, verse 16. बद्धो ददौ रघुपतिर्विविधाद्रिकूटैः सेतुं कपीन्द्रकरकम्पितभूरुहाङ्गैः सुग्रीवनीलहनुमत्प्रमुखैरनीकैर्लङ्कां विभीषणदृशाविशद् अग्रदग्धाम्. After constructing a bridge over the ocean by throwing into the water the peaks of mountains, whose trees and other vegetation had been shaken by the hands of great monkeys, Lord Ramachandra went to Lanka to release Sita Devi from the clutches of Ravana. With the direction and help of Vibhishana, Ravana's brother, the Lord, along with the monkey soldiers, headed by Sugriva, Nila, and Hanuman, entered Ravana's kingdom, Lanka, which had previously been burnt by Hanuman. So when Hanuman, they all figured Sita Devi in Lanka, then Hanuman flies. Till then, Hanuman did not know that he has so much power. Because he had been cursed. He was a super naughty child. He decided that he wants to eat the sun only. So then he gets cursed, saying that you're going to forget everything. You're going to forget that you can actually do some such feats like jumping and all that. So then Hanuman just forgets everything. Then at that time when it was required, everybody there, big warriors, Angada, Jambavan. Jamba also said, I've done this multiple times. When Vamana Dev was, lifting his leg, then I circumambulated the universe like multiple times within seconds, but now I become old. So I can't do it. Then he tells Hanuman, saying that Hanuman, don't think that you're ordinary. You have extraordinary power. So you can very easily cross this. So you just jump and you will go. So Hanuman says, okay, if you say so, I'll try. Then jumps and then he goes to Ashoka Vatika and then sees Sita Mata. And at that time, actually in Ramayana, there's a very beautiful conversation between Sita Mata and Hanuman. There's a very nice poem, like a song that Hanuman sings. He's showing his love for Rama. And Sita Mata understands, saying that apart from a devotee of Rama, nobody can do such glorification, because she was doubting, saying that the Ravana has been trying to capture her or whatever, attract her or convince her to get married, and so she's doubting, saying that maybe this Ravana only can come in any form, Rakshasa. So she was very, very careful. She didn't want to accept. Though Hanuman says that I'm a messenger of Rama, she doesn't accept. Then he speaks some very confidential words that Rama would have told him, saying that in case you find Sita, you tell her this. So some very confidential pastimes he narrates also. And then Sita Devi agrees. And so then by that time, but before going back, Hanuman destroys Lanka, burns up Lanka. And then Ramayana says, saying that after that Hanuman, he burnt Lanka, and then he goes out of Lanka and then he sees the whole city is burning. And then he thought, oh my God, I'm a monkey. I'm really a monkey. Because if by chance in this fire, if Sita Devi would his guard burnt, actually he never thought about it. Right? And of course, why will Sita Devi get burnt? But this is one thing for devotees also. We should not be very, sometimes we become like too much Josh, it's good, but we should also be a little bit calculative, right? Saying that, of course, surrender doesn't require calculation, but Hanuman is also showing I should have thought about it. That's what he says. So We can think about it beyond our abilities. When something happens, then anyway, Supreme Lord is there to take care. He was very frightened. So like, what? Uh, then he goes and sees, and then Sita Mata is like intact. Then he gets caught, right? Hanuman gets caught. And they put fire on his what? Tail. Bala. On his tail. No, Sita Mata then prays to the Supreme Lord, saying that if at all I have done any austerity, I have pleased Lord Ramachandra, let Hanuman not be burnt. Mm. So it's a very nice, beautiful exchange, of devotee and Lord's potency. So then all that is over. So now they're saying, okay, now Hanuman had already burnt Lanka before, so now they all enter Ravana's kingdom. Purport great mountain peaks covered with trees and plants were thrown into the sea by the monkey soldiers and began to float by the supreme will of the Lord. By the supreme will of the Lord, many great planets float weightlessly in space like swabs of cotton. If this is possible, why should great mountain peaks not be able to float on water? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. He can do anything and everything he likes. Because he's not under the control of material nature. Indeed, material nature is controlled by him. Maya dakshena purati suyate sacharacharam. Only under his direction does Prakriti work. Similar information is given in Brahma Samhita. Yasya gnaya brahmati samvrata kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. Describing how material nature works, Brahma Samhita says that the sun moves as desired by the Supreme Lord. Consequently, for Lord Ramachandra to construct a bridge over the Indian Ocean with the help of monkey soldiers who threw great mountain peaks into the water is not at all wonderful. It's wonderful only in the sense that it has kept the name and fame of Lord Ramachandra eternally celebrated. Right, so Rama does Prabhu ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಟರ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. So Rama does uncommon feats, Krishna does uncommon feats, but Krishna does more uncommon feats than Rama. Because Krishna did all this when he was small, right? Rama still did later, age of 7. Of course, I'm just biased. Okay, both are supreme lords, right? But yeah, Ishta Deva. So okay, so both are great. Sorry, okay, 17. Svanarendra Balaruddha Vihara Koshta Shridwara Gopura Sado Valabhi Vitanka Nirbha Jamana Dishana Dwaja Hema Kumbha Shringataka Gajakuler Sridiniva Gurna. After entering Lanka, the monkey soldiers, led by chiefs like Sugriva, Nila, and Hanuman, occupied all the sporting houses, granaries, treasuries, palace doorways, city gates, assembly houses, palace frontages, and even the resting houses of the pigeons. The city's crossroads, platforms, flags, and golden water pots on its domes were all destroyed. The entire city of Lanka appeared like a river disturbed by a herd of elephants. So anyway, it's all just destruction. When Ravana, the master of the Rakshasa, saw the disturbances created by the monkey soldiers, he called for Nikumbha, Kumbha, Dhumraksha, Durmukha. Their names are only scary. Durmukha, can you imagine? Oh, Durmukha will be the. Then there is Surantaka. Surantaka means what? One who does Anta of Suras, killer of demigods. Narantaka and other Rakshasas. And also his son Indrajit. Thereafter, he called for Prahasta, Atikaya, Vikampana, and finally Kumbhakarna. Then he induced all his followers to fight against the enemies. All the Yuddhakanda is very too much of bloodshed. Lord Ramachandra, surrounded by Lakshmana and monkey soldiers like Sugriva, Hanuman, Gandhamada, Neela, Angada, Jambavan, and Panasa, attacked the soldiers of Rakshasas, who were fully equipped with various invincible weapons like swords, lances, bows, prasas, rushtis, Shakti arrows, khadgas, and thomaras. Angada and the other commanders of the soldiers of Ramachandra faced the elephants, infantry, horses, and chariots of the enemy and hurled against them big trees, mountain peaks, clubs, and arrows. So, by the way, on Rama's side, there are only, uh, apart from Rama, Lakshmana, actually, there are no human beings, right? Of course, I mean, Vishana was there, but belonged to the category of Rakshasas. But everybody else was just monkey. And monkeys didn't know of any bow, arrow, military warfare, and all that. All they knew was trees, mountain peaks, like this. Mm. So just imagine. And Ravana side, they were like full-fledged army. Uh, so it doesn't matter, right? What kind of strength the devotees face with, it doesn't matter. In front of Lord, what is the soldiers of Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana's soldiers who had lost all good fortune because Ravana had been condemned by the anger of Mother Sita. So this is very, very important. Though Mother Sita was only Chaya Sita, right? But still, he was condemned by the anger. Of course, Chaya Sita is, in one sense, you can't say non-different because she's different, but I don't know. Some of Chaya Sita's words also became mm, philosophically is difficult to understand because she's not Sita, but any. So it says he's condemned by the anger of Mother Sita. The soldiers Ramachandra recruited in the jungle were all monkeys and did not have proper equipment with which to fight the soldiers of Ravana. So Ravana's soldiers were equipped with weapons of modern warfare. The monkeys could only throw stones, mountain peaks, and trees. Yeah, okay. It was only Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana who shot some arrows. But because the soldiers of Ravana were condemned by the curse of Mother Sita, the monkeys were able to kill them simply by throwing stones and trees. There are two kinds of strength. Okay, interesting. Daiva and Purushakara. Purushakara, okay. Daiva refers to the strength achieved from the transcendence, and Purushakara refers to strength organized by one's own intelligence and power. Transcendental power is always superior to the power of the materialist. Depending on the mercy of the Supreme Lord, one must fight one's enemies even though one may not be equipped with modern weapons. Therefore, Krishna instructed Arjuna, Ma Manusmara Yuddhacha, think of me and fight. We should fight our enemy to the best of our ability. But for victory, we must depend on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. What enemies are we fighting? This is relevant to us.
Yes, Prabhu.
What enemies are we fighting?
Kama,
Maya.
Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya.
And then wife.
So
That is
Kama,
only
Krodha,
to me,
Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya.
applicable to me, Prabhu.
Anyway. So yeah, we are fighting. And what is Prabhupada saying? We should fight our enemy to the best of our ability. Now, interestingly, the fight against this Harishat Varga is losing battle. Losing battle because from time immemorial, we have these, anarthas in us, right? Now, in life of some devotees, there are some things which they easily overcome. And then, of course, then there are various category of devotees. First category is pure devotees, who don't understand all this. When you say anarthas and all, it's like, huh? There are anarthas also. Yeah, so they can't understand all this. Then there are next category who are, some of their anarthas have gone very easily and then they're stuck with some deep-rooted anarthas. Now, and then when we are fighting these deep-rooted anarthas, it's a big struggle. It's not easy. And then there are others who have a lot of anarthas, right? So very early stage of devotion. So it's not a battle that can be won by our own strength. Because if it had that strength, those anarthas would have gone already. So Prabhupada is saying, fight to the best of your ability, but for victory, you must depend on the mercy of Krishna. And of course, the mercy of Krishna flows even through sadhana. Right? And those devotees who can very nicely chant the holy name, for them these anarthas are all child's play. They'll just vanish in no time. But till we get to the stage of chanting offenselessly and with feeling. These anarthas may remain. But it doesn't mean that we should fear these anarthas. I mean, yeah, we should fear the anarthas. We should not feel lost. We should not feel that I'm going to lose this battle. Because Krishna is on our side. So he will absolutely pull us out, provided we want to be pulled. This is one very, very important thing I keep saying, that, we get stuck to the extent we want to get stuck. It's very simple. Meaning that, okay, there are anarthas and it's pulling us down. But if we really sincerely desire to come out, that sincere desire will pull us out. But the anarthas might really be badly pulling us down. But a sincere desire of a sincere devotee can help pull it out, because Krishna will then come in. Krishna will intervene at the right time. Hmm. It's difficult. It's difficult to deal with some deep-rooted anarthas. Can be very nasty. Can be very difficult. But when, if we are very prayerful and we sincerely want to get out of it, then Krishna does magic. Hmm. Krishna does magic. Krishna brings, creates some situations, brings certain devotees into our life, etc., with the intent of helping us out. And what's very important is for devotees to recognize it. This is a very difficult thing for devotees. Generally, they think that, maybe some coincidence, maybe something happened. There's no coincidence in the life of a devotee. Is there any coincidence? There's no coincidence. There's Krishna, that's all. Krishna is all incidents. Krishna is all coincidence, whatever you want to call it. It's Krishna. You can call it whatever you want. Right? But of course, even in the third chapter, end of third chapter, Krishna says, Evam buddhe param buddhva samstapya atmanam atmana jai shatru mahabaho kama rupam durasadam. So he says, this kama, it's our greatest enemy. It can be overcome by spiritual strength. So, and Prabhupada says by Krishna consciousness. You get spiritual strength by Krishna consciousness. So for which we have to be extremely intense. Our devotion has to be extremely intense. It has to be more intense than the intensity of kama or any of the anarthas. Only when it is so intense can it pull us out. Right? And even with that intensity, sometimes, we can get a little bit jittery. So finally, it is simply the mercy of Krishna. And devotees, Krishna shows his mercy through devotees. So we should hold on to the lotus feet of devotees. Only they can help us. And those who take up this route, path, very sincerely, with all faith and intensity, and Krishna definitely pulls them out. Yesterday we were reading one verse in Bhagavatam, first canto, saying that, when we look at um, continuous chanting, hearing, etc., if somebody is able to do this continuous devotional service or takes pleasure in others' devotional service, as the verse is saying, they are going to see the lotus feet of the Lord. And seeing the lotus feet of the Lord means what? Basically, they get shelter of the Lord, and then nothing difficult will remain. Everything will go. So for me, it's a big learning. Because all these years I thought, I am the devotee to be glorified. And so Krishna said, you're a fool. I'm going to show you what greatness in devotion is. And then he brought me in the middle of devotees who are unimaginably more advanced than me. And then Krishna is saying, did you see? Did you see these devotees and their devotion? Now I'm saying, yes, Krishna. Now I understand. So then what happens? Only if we come to this state will we be able to glorify other devotees. Otherwise, we'll keep thinking, okay, what is this? I gave such a wonderful class. Nobody came and glorified me. So it's important. And Krishna knows. Krishna knows where to hit. Right? So it's okay. We have to just be sincere in identifying our anarthas. This is all that we need to do. And if we are not able to do it, we should take shelter of, Guru Sadhu Shastra and identify, recognize our anarthas. And when we recognize our anarthas, it's the beginning of the solution. It's the beginning. That is the first step. Saying that, okay, Krishna, I have all these anarthas. Please help me. Only you can help. Krishna says, okay, I'm there, don't worry. And then he creates situations one after the other. Like I said, if we are aware of our anarthas, then we can recognize these situations, saying that, okay, it's for me. It's not for anybody else, it's for me. And then we will accept it in the right mood. And then we will be able to overcome our anarthas. So, possibly, yeah, devotees would, never used to. I never felt like glorifying devotees. Now I just feel like only glorifying devotees, right? Because when we realize our Prabhupada says teeny position in devotion, and when we see others exalted devotion, then we feel, oh, okay, I'm just a speck of dust in their lotus feet. And then it's very awkward sometimes, so that I sit on the Vyasasana and speak to devotees who are more exalted than me. Then I feel, oh my God, Krishna, what are you making me do? Okay, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. It's very, very important. Only when we come to that platform, we can actually depend on the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we'll always be in this false ego saying, I'm something. And I'm not, when we are nothing. So anyway, nice. Prabhupada's, sometimes in Prabhupada's purport, something like this, some random statement we feel, we are reading, but sometimes it becomes, suddenly we feel the relevance of that statement in our life. Okay, so I'll conclude here. If anybody has any comments, feel free. Anything? Okay. We close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Chapaditana Bhanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.